My name is Rassoul Dinarvand. By profession, I'm a professor of pharmaceutical technology at Tehran University of Medical Sciences. But I've been in the Ministry of Health several times. 2 times the head of Iran Food and Drug Administration. The last one just finished over a month ago. Currently, I'm advising the Minister of Health, and I'm going to talk about the pharmaceutical sector in Iran. I'll try to analyze the situation, and I will try to conclude with some of suggestions about how to move forward and what are the opportunities for pharmaceutical companies, both foreign investors and also local players. Where is the... This is the cover. I think you have to put the right one. This is not. If you don't have it, I'll give it yesterday. If you don't have it, you can try it again. Sorry.
There's this thing called death by PowerPoint. But I think we will be resurrected, don't worry.
I thought these are the problems that we have in Iran, but you have it in Switzerland as well. Because we have always problems with sound and also with PowerPoints.
Tension mounts. And there's a nod of affirmation, which looks as if we're getting there.
I'm sure we'll get to that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Are we on the right clicker here?
Okay, yes.
Yes? Brilliant.
This is a general overview of the country. I'm sure you have them all, but the total expenditure on health sector in Iran is around 7.7%. For the region, it's really higher than most countries in the region. Probably one of the reasons is that the per capita GDP in Iran is not as much as the countries in the region. I'm talking about the Persian Gulf countries to the south, which their GDP is higher than Iran. Therefore, the percentage of the GDP spent on health is roughly half of Iran, but the real amount is higher. I'm from Ministry of Health, therefore I gave an overview about Ministry of Health. The system in Iran, medical, educated, and health system provision is within one ministry, is an integrated system. It is really unique, and it has received a lot of acclamation from leading medical education institutes, international one, and also from WHO. We have 55 medical universities at provincial level. They are in charge of both medical education and also health service delivery. A new health transformation plan focused on reducing out-of-pocket in health reduction started 3 years ago. A major challenge we have after that health transformation plan is the lack of budget allocation for that. So companies in Iran active in pharmaceutical sector, they know about this new challenge that we have lack of budget allocation, and it is a huge challenge for the Ministry of Health and also for the government as a whole. They have taken a burden, not really know how to cover the financial cost. And also give you a summary about the Iran Food and Drug Administration. This administration is in charge of regulatory works regarding all food and health consumables. So whatever it is done by a regulatory authority in other countries, it is done by Iran Food and Drug Administration as one of the departments within the Ministry of Health. This is the organizational chart of the IFTA. Give you an overview of the pharmaceutical market. Total pharmaceutical market, this is for the year 2016. It is 1.7 billion US dollar. For medical devices is roughly 1/3 of that. We have around close to 100 pharmaceutical manufacturing sites. Of course, companies active in manufacturing are more than this, around 160 companies active in manufacturing, but many of them, they are doing their manufacturing using other premises. They are contract manufacturing. 93 local manufacturing sites. For medical equipment, we have a lot more. API manufacturers, 60, pharmaceutical distribution companies, about 50 companies, but 80% of the total pharmaceutical distribution is done by top 10 companies, of course. And we have pharmacies, retail pharmacies, around 12,001. This gives you an overview of the health products market. It doesn't include food, but the total market for the health products is about 11 billion US dollar. Pharmaceuticals covers around just about 40% of that. We have a problem of smuggled and counterfeits. For the pharmaceuticals, it's about 5%, but when you go to cosmetics, is more than 40%. For medical devices, 15%. Hygienics and cleansing agents, not a lot. For food supplements, about 50%, unfortunately, smuggled and counterfeit. So we have a huge problem of counterfeits. Roughly 15% of, more than 15% of the health market in Iran is related to smuggled and counterfeit items. This shows you the pharmaceutical market. These are the number of items. So it's had steady growth of items in Iran. These are the domestic product. These are the imported, these are the total number. These are the domestically produced, a steady increase. But for the imported one, the number of items has not increased during the last 5 or 6 years. This is the number of suppliers, around 330 companies active in supply, and these are the distributors. 5 years ago, just above 30 companies, now above 50 companies active in distribution. This shows the pharmaceutical market increase. This is in real. Of course, there is a huge increase during the last 5 years. This is not a real increase in the value of the market. This is just the devaluation of real. I'll give you the numbers for the numbers in dollar, which is more accurate. It doesn't work. Oh, yes. This is the total market in dollar. So we have increase. Part of this increase is related to the exchange rate mechanism. Sometimes it's not real increase. Sometimes it depends on the exchange rate mechanism in the country. But you can consider that we have increased, especially for local manufacturing side. But for the imported items, not real increase. It is roughly about 30% of the market. It is imported items. Approaching, yes, sorry. This is the pharma market volume in number of items. Shows again increase. This is the source of imported medicine. It is really good to notice that about 30% of what is imported, which is about 1 billion euros import annually, 29% of that is from Germany, and the next country is Switzerland and France, and then Denmark. So the major source are European countries, more than 70%. I don't have a lot of time. This is the market share of private and public sector in Iran. You see, for the total market, number of companies from that 330 companies, 43 are public companies, and this is for the locally manufactured one. 41%, sorry, for the total market. So number is 43 out of 300, but for the market share, 40% is from public companies. If you check this for the locally manufactured one, you see public companies, their number is less than 1/4, but their share of the market for the locally produced one is close to 60% of the market. This gives you some of the capabilities of Iranian biotech producers. We have a good manufacturing basis in Iran, knowledge-based companies, newly established. When I say new, it is from, say, 15 years ago. We have around 10 companies active in biosimilar production, and these are some of the production here, not all. This shows, because I want to have conclusions, so these are slides that provides the basis for my conclusion. This slide is about non-communicable disease as a major health risk in the future, but as a good source of opportunity for pharmaceutical industry. This shows the different categories and also have provided the number of people at risk, the available medicine in the market, total doses distributed, number of patients, percentage of covered people. You see, for example, in lipid modifying sector, only 40% of patients receiving medicine. So another 86% of people not receiving medicine. For diabetes, only 40% are receiving medicine. And this goes along, but for CKD, chronic kidney disease, roughly all of the patients receive support. For cancer, 40%. And this shows the cost of pharmaceutical cost of the country is $1.7 billion US. But if we target 70% coverage of the patients, this more than doubled in size. So it shows that there is huge opportunities only to cover the NCD, non-communicable diseases. Conclusion, regulatory framework, we have, this is what is usually taken by third world countries, and also WHO support these steps, and Iran has taken them all into account. So we have price control, we have support for the local pharmaceutical industry, we have improvement of quality of medicines. Each year by year we have improvement. Current situation, this is really good to notice. The market is largely generic. Domestic industry supplies at low price. We have trade barriers, 32%. What is produced locally, to have them import, you need to pay extra 32%. Local industry, it is not practically privatized yet. 60% are roughly for the public, but each year the private sector is gaining more momentum, and the share is steadily growing. We just got membership of PICS. It's a internationally well-known, major European countries are member of PICS. It is for GMP improvement and also inspection of the pharmaceutical network. Iran is now a member, so it is mandatory to improve the local GMP. Huge subsidies, risk of counterfeit still, and legal framework to support knowledge-based companies. Opportunities, of course, government welcomes not only huge investment by foreigners and locals, also the government itself is investing a lot in health. Market expansion, it is really, after removal of sanctions, everybody thinking about that. High expectation of economic growth in the next decade, increase and enhancement of quality, also new medicine to treat hard-to-treat diseases. We have a good local industry, highly educated people, aging of the population. You know, the cost of health and also pharmaceuticals increase by aging of the population. And another problem is NCD. These are the major challenges for health, but opportunities for the industry. Thank you very much.